Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Spit Talk what the fuck podcast. my name is Jan. Quick bites.
My name is Aaron.
I'm Kyle.
And yeah, sorry, what the fuck, dude. I'm pretty sober.
It's so funny. You said you were ready to go.
I know.
Hey,
it's called a twist of the tongue or whatever the fuck. But anyways, yeah. This is another,
retro review.
Another retro review. Yeah, we've kind of been doing this.
We spun the wheel. We spun the wheel this time.
Yeah. So, by context, so we when we don't have a topic, we actually have this little wheel that Aaron made up. You made it, right? Or
yeah, I just grabbed like the top 50 or like actors and actresses in like the 90s and 2000s. So we can look back at it, like what movies have they been in that we haven't watched.
Yes.
So that's basically the premise of retro review, is just to increase our knowledge or to look back at what we've already watched.
Yeah. So for this one, we ended up spinning on Isla Fisher. And for some reason we picked Definitely Maybe. And I think we picked that one because we had this post before on Instagram. I don't remember what the gist of it was. It was like some trend that we were doing.
Yeah.
But basically that's one of the movies that I put on there, surprisingly for I mean, it's not the norm, but it was one of my favorite films, so I put Definitely Maybe in there, and I finally got these two to watch it. So we did, and now we're gonna give you our fucking thoughts. I mean, who wants to go first? Who's
the
more
freshest? The one
who's the freshest?
I literally just finished it about an hour ago. So
Kyle,
amazing movie, great movie. I loved it. So
why does that sound sarcastic?
What do you mean? Why? It's a great rom-com.
Yeah.
So what else can I mean?
Well, yeah, it's a great.
No, yeah.
So quick thoughts. Quick.
I don't know. Do I have to explain why it's great, or
we can. We'll get into that. Aaron, what do you think about Definitely Maybe? 2008, by the way.
It was good. I think this is, I would say, the saddest I've seen Ryan Reynolds in the film, I guess, based off my knowledge. But it was good, like what Kyle said. It is a rom-com, so you need that kind of sad vibe going on. So I just haven't seen Ryan Reynolds that sad,
Yeah.
I think he was sad,
in the
dude.
movie,
I was
in
like,
the movie, he was still kind of like, he had his Ryan Reynolds persona still, but because of the genre, it was like, aw.
Yeah.
So
for me, I was always like into, like, for some reason, like it's kind of sappy, but like I was always into rom-coms where the guy was the point of view of the movie. It was in the point of view of the guy. So this is one of those ones, and I think there's a bunch of other ones where it's also Ryan Reynolds or a Gosling per se, but this one was Reynolds. And I really, for some reason, liked this when I was watching it back then. I just managed to watch it on cable. And I like the story aspect of it. If you really think about it, this movie is just a better made version of How I Met Your Mother.
I guess.
Yeah.
And that's basically the whole gist of the movie, is like he's trying to tell this story to his daughter about how he met her mother without telling her exactly who her mother is in the story. So it kept things interesting.
I think the nice part about like that, right? It's like it's the perspective from the daughter, which kind of like adds a little, like, because like, like he's the one explaining it, so it's kind of like a third person point of view, but then like you're kind of reacting it as like how the daughter's viewing it. So like the daughter's like steering majority of the time. I'm like, oh, like who could it be, this and that. So it kind of had it. That's why it was kind of like super fun to kind of just like watch through it and like go through the different stories.
Well, first, watching it though, did you guys figure out who it was, or
did you guys had to be Isla Fisher?
Huh?
It had to be Isla Fisher, so I should
know. Like, did you guys know who the mom was?
The mom was?
Yeah.
No,
I wasn't.
No,
really,
but I
no.
had a feeling it wasn't the writer though.
It wasn't Summer.
It was in
the
summer.
writer.
Yeah.
It wasn't the writer. I was like, man, this chick is like out of it. But anyways, like she cared about her work, so like I was like, yeah, you're not the mom, anyways. But I guess to just talk about the movie and just it's like I like doing this retro review just because it's like sometimes the good movies are in the past, and like seeing this movie is just like, wow, dude.
It was so refreshing, and
yeah,
also
it's like look where we've gone, like, or look where we came from. Like this was like crazy, like to see like this is a good movie. Like what you said, I'm already hooked from the beginning. You know, like I didn't need a lot of explanation. Like we just
100%. You just kind of like you're kind of like also just as like you're just as blind going in, and you're just like, okay, let me just follow this, and it turned out really good. So
did you guys even know what it was about before going into it? Like I remember when I don't know if I talked about it. You guys
honestly
just watched it.
I did think about you saying this was like, you did say you liked it, so I was like, you fucking like it because it's a who done it. Who did this?
It has a similar footprint.
He likes,
like, not really.
Jan likes playing around. Like, oh, I want to know too. I want to guess.
Yeah. He's like, I want to see it from this perspective. Let me see it from 5 other perspectives and figure out who it is.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, to be fair, I only picked it. I remember picking this one because, like, you know, I mean, we it's a Ryan Reynolds movie, but we picked it because of the Isla Fisher thing.
Oh, she did amazing.
That's why. And I think I picked it for us because I was like, this is the one movie where she was kind of given the main role, and she crushed it. Like I thought she was really charming. She was really, you know, she really had great chemistry.
Her presence, her chemistry and presence, like throughout the whole movie, like there was no hiccup whatsoever.
It was really good. And you know, and obviously going through the movie, you're kind of going, for me, I was like, I mean, that's obviously fucking April. It's a goddamn rom-com, right? That's the mom right there. But the fact that it didn't go in that direction, and you kind of were just like along for the ride of what the fuck's his name? Will? I think it's Will, right?
Yeah, it's Will.
Yeah, like go along for the ride of what he's doing, and what, you know, like just his life during that time. It was really refreshing, like to see, you know, I think that's why I liked it a lot, is because it didn't exactly resolve. I mean, it resolved the way you wanted it to, but it didn't get to that point in the traditional manner. So I thought that was really cool. And
I liked I think I liked how we were able to explore each character or each like, I guess, girl. I enjoyed that because you each get a storyline and it wasn't like one quick summer. It was just like a span of years. So I thought that concept was pretty cool. How he got his heart.
Like there was no
like
fuss
3
about
times.
like there was no fuss about like like, well, this happened, this, and then but then like, you know, like the daughter will jump in and be like, oh well, you know, she like mapped it out for you at the end anyways, right?
Yeah,
she's like, well, if you do this and you know, if this is her. And then during this time, then it's like, who's my mother? And then she's like, so.
It's kind of funny too, because like the daughter's telling him things that he didn't even realize. Like,
yeah.
When she's like, I think when April first came back from traveling the world or whatever, right? Like, he didn't even know why she was mad at that point or kind of upset. Yeah. But then the daughter was like, dude, she came back for you. And then for her to come back only to find out you're fucking proposing to someone else, it's like, and he's like, you know, he's kind of stumped, like, oh fuck, I didn't even know that at the time. So, you know, just little stuff like that.
He was like, can't you just be happy for me? And I was like, oh no. So
I think that was just a bad move on him in general though. Dude, he literally took him to the freaking ring shop. I was like, yo, what are you doing? So I think it was just but I guess like
but
it does portray like what a guy would do, you know, like
that's what I'm saying.
100%.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right?
They're like, oh, we can't fault him. Like,
no, and we're like, as guys, we're fucking clueless, bro. We don't know what the fuck we're doing, and you know, and probably in his mind, it's just like, oh, she's my friend. There's an attraction there,
exactly,
right? But she's my friend. But obviously, within the overall context, you're kind of like,
she's with him, so that's why they're together. I'm gonna take my friend to the store, so there shouldn't be anything wrong.
The writer,
but like, I guess when you say it like that, like of course the daughter would have picked that up.
The banter they had was so good. Like
It was, yeah.
the chemistry for like those exchanges, I was like, this is so like heartwarming.
Yeah,
Because
I
they're
think-
like on the same level, right? And like
exactly.
everything that they say to each other, it's like, oh wow, like these two are like really like but like, you know, from the outside point of view, you're just like, he doesn't know a goddamn thing.
I know.
He's clueless. So
I think the whole crutch of it too was like the whole Jane Eyre thing. I thought was really cool, and that the fact that was what kind of got them back to that position again at the end. Because obviously, I mean, spoiler alert for people who haven't watched it. The mother is not April. It was like the mother was like the first girl. I mean, it's kind of spoiled too because the
Emily.
Yeah, Emily or Sarah, whatever her actual name
Sarah.
was. The daughter was
Sarah
even
Emily.
like, oh, she's the first girl in the story, so she's definitely now my mom, right?
Yeah.
But then it ended up actually being her. So I thought that was cool because, you know, it was kind of a swerve. We didn't even think about it anymore.
But like even if like, you know, like watching her story and go through it, like because like, you know, she's integral to like his story. Like you get to that conclusion and you're just like I'm okay, like, you know, it's kind of like it's amounted to like from his point of view of like all the decisions he had to make and kind of like, you know, going through this, and then to retract it back and then the daughter be like, oh, I get it, kind of thing, and then moving on. He's like, oh, but at the end it's like, oh, you're still not happy, and then that's like so, you know.
And I think like I don't know if you guys caught that whole reveal, because even before the daughter said it.
I for one, like as soon as like he saw the book, and I was like, oh, this is probably the last thing that's gonna come up, and it's like the last thing he holds onto of her, because like, you know, they're like not talking, or he's like avoiding him or avoiding her kind of thing. So
no, for me it was like, I think when he was giving her the book, right, nothing was revealed yet. Everything was revealed about Emily being someone else, like Sarah, whatever.
Yeah.
But then right when he said April in real life, you know, it wasn't the story anymore. And you figured out like, oh fuck, he didn't even change her goddamn name. That's how much he was into her, or that's how much he's still she's still in his mind. You know what I mean? She's
living rent free in that.
And I was like, oh fuck, dude, god damn it. And then the daughter obviously mentions it later, like, how come you didn't change her name? You changed everyone else's name, but you didn't change April's. And that was kind of where it led to that. So I thought that was great. But yeah, like really, it was just a fun rom-com. For some reason, this is one of the ones that I gravitated towards growing up.
It's kind of like it's like a fun heartbreak.
It's not even a heartbreak.
It's not like sad or anything, but it's like you get to go through the process, and then I'm be like,
I feel like
I felt it.
Exactly, yeah. I feel like he had like 3 girls already broken once. Then like, you know, it told the span of time like, okay, I had to get over this girl, then move on, which he did. So like, I think that was the toughest part to me, like watching this movie. I was just like, oh man, again.
In hindsight, it's like,
and it was a circle. I was like, shit, again.
The thing is, in hindsight, it's like 3 dudes watching a rom-com movie from the male perspective, and they like it, and it's like, yeah, of course, like
obviously,
yeah.
And
the thing is like, we're not explaining anything about the romance, but it's just like we just get it, like, you know. So
I think one of the things I liked a lot too, I don't know if you guys even noticed it, but the score, like the music itself.
Score? I didn't really pay attention to the score.
Yeah, I love the score. Like it was really like, I think that's the reason why you felt the way that you did about being sad. The theme for April and the theme for like, and just I think go back and listen to the, like, I mean, you don't have to, but like if you listen to the score again by Clint Mansell, you'll probably feel that same feeling again. And I think that played a lot of part into probably what you guys ended up feeling with what he was going through. So I really did enjoy that.
I think another good part, like I guess to build off of that, not the score, but of course Ryan Reynolds acting. His facial expressions like did say a lot. Like even though we know him as the crazy funny guy, like when he's sad, like, you know, he's sad. So there's that one scene. No, reals. There's that one scene when like
when she was looking at him.
Yeah, when he was looking at
her, and she's just, and then like all the little like
He's just
subtle. He's
nodding,
like,
like he's just nodding, like,
yeah.
"Oh, I'm doing this for you."
There was no life in his eyes.
I was
There
like,
was no
damn.
spark of joy in his eyes when he was talking, and then he's like, I think
I don't know.
like
It's just
right after that scene, if I remember, he immediately went to his new apartment, and then he's like, "Fuck!" He's like, "I'm gonna sign the divorce papers and be done with this shit."
it was
And
just so
then,
weird
yeah.
seeing Ryan Reynolds like this for me, you know. So
Yeah, I guess.
it's fair to say this was like one of his first movies. Yeah,
Not
it's fair to say that.
really. I mean, he's kind of already 2000. This was only a year before The Proposal.
Interesting.
So
Was it only a
Okay.
year before? Okay,
About
that's
a year
pretty. That's
before,
pretty
maybe.
cool. That's pretty good. That's pretty
so
cool.
I think
But
this is
younger Ryan Reynolds. Like I'm pretty sure
Definitely.
everyone now knows Ryan Reynolds as the Deadpool guy. But like seeing him in this way is like interesting to see, you know. Like sure,
Yeah.
we got the proposals and all that stuff, but for sure that was the proposal I want to feel like it's a start of him being that Deadpool character. But like everything before that, well, I guess that other one where he was in college, but that this one was a big switch for me to see Ryan Reynolds play that role. You know?
Yeah, I think this was the movie that made me say Ryan Reynolds is really good. I think it might have been it because I remember having arguments with people about because he's just like all his movies suck, and it was such a bad time because it was like Green Lantern, R.I.P.D. What else fucking came out around that time? I'm like, dude, no way, you gotta watch fucking Definitely Maybe Smoking Aces. Smoking Aces is another one where if you, I mean, we're talking more about Ryan Reynolds than Isla Fisher, but that's another one where he kind of is a little more serious. He has his mannerisms in there too, but he's definitely more serious in those ones. So,
Okay.
yeah,
So
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, so
It's-
to bring it back to Isla Fisher, sorry to cut you
Yeah.
off, but like to bring it back to Isla Fisher is like I feel like this was the most prominent role I've seen her play than
Exactly.
the other movies I've seen her. So I like how they fleshed her character. Like obviously she was gonna be, or not obviously, but she was a big role in the movie, and like I guess you see it throughout because of like what we said, like her name doesn't get mentioned, or her name gets mentioned and all these other things, the book and all that other stuff. So her seeing them like fight it out or just like talk and stuff, like their relationship seems genuine as well watching the movie. So I did like seeing that because I've known her just for like the smaller roles.
Exactly.
So it was good to see her in that play that kind of character, you know. But
and
I was
for
hoping
like,
Scooby Doo, you know, but I'm glad we got this one.
yeah, and to like add on to that, like for her role in this movie, it was very like I guess straightforward and direct.
Yeah.
Whereas like because it's still kind of a Ryan Reynolds movie, like from his point of view is like the main focus, but then to see her kind of like add into that while still being a part of like the main line of like like in the end it's gonna be her kind of thing, and like she played it all the way through, and it's like it was very nice. It was very good. I
think it ended really well.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Because they could have just kept it like that. They didn't have to get to that point. But the resolution itself of him getting back to her.
Maybe not even just him, just the idea of growth. Everyone grew in that movie, you know. She went back to college. The other girl like got her like paper done or something.
The
I don't know.
timeline? Like how long do you think?
This
like
was like what? Isn't like 8 years? Like
really 8?
Because it started with the
because
Clinton
there was like
thing.
years.
Dude.
Yeah,
It started with the Bill
That was, like,
Clinton
4
thing.
years.
Like
Yeah.
Bill
Okay,
Clinton
so
was
probably
still
like
getting
8,
elected
10
in the
years.
movie, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
it
then
was like 8 to 10 years. So that's why I
and
want
then
to
he
say.
saw, and then he saw him jogging. Like
yeah, I think that's why they like just to show
that
the
was
times.
the time frame. Yeah. Okay.
Because like show him
it's
getting
super
impeached
long.
with the scandals and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously. Yeah, at the end when he's
So-
jogging for some weird reason. And
So that's what I'm saying,
they just, had
man.
they just had to insert that just to be like, hey, by the way, like it's this time.
No, that's
So-
why I'm saying this movie is all about growth. You know, everyone got their winnings. You know, so I think
so
that's
sad. It's
that's
so
what I
sad,
felt
though.
like.
It's
was-
very real and sad.
It's not, how is it sad? He ends up with the one that he
No,
eventually.
but like I think it's just more so like the process he had to go to and like what he was thinking.
Yeah,
And
what
then-
it is.
That's
and then-
called,
and then-
that's
no, but the
called
thing is,
life,
like-
my boy.
No, but the thing is, the daughter's there. That's like like as a kid, the kid's like, oh, I'm like I don't have to deal with these problems. But the kid's like, oh, why don't you just do this? Or like it's simple as just make up your mind and go do this, or
I know.
why
The
didn't
fact
you?
that the kid was like, I just want you to be happy.
Yeah,
Oh,
and it's
fuck.
like, man, that sucks. Like,
I'm like, oh fuck, all right,
Yeah,
go get your
so-
coat. I was like, that was so good,
Yeah.
dude.
yeah. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying it. Like the fact that you're sad, it's because of the music. I'm just,
That's
I'm
it.
just, I'm just kidding.
So, if you do want to watch it, and if you guys have any other final thoughts, I guess to add on to the retro review, like we'll try our best to see like where you guys can stream it. So if you guys ever want to watch, definitely maybe check it out on Max. If you guys are subscribers, and Max, hit us up if you want us to shoot a shout out your streaming service.
they're just gonna
Guys, we
pop up
will
an
be doing
ad
more
before
retro
this, So.
Yeah, we will be doing more. We just don't know exactly because we do have a bunch of stuff in the lineup so far. We got this, bitches. We are consistent again. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. Anyways, Aaron, do your fucking thing, man.
All right. Thank you for listening again. We are Spit Talk Podcast, amateur opinions by amateur viewers. Check us out on our socials. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Quick bites.